and welcome back to a Wildcard Wacky Wow Whoa Woo 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 Wiki Wiki Wild Wednesday here at Dylan and Ross Save Sports. I am one of your hosts, as always, Dylan Sanders. You can find me on Twitter at Dilly Sanders. And then joining me today, as always, is Ross Jackson. You can go on Twitter at Ross Jackson. Noah, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
You know, we're just vibing.
Just vibing, fam. Just chilling.
Just chilling out, maxing, relaxing out, cool, shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
I'm just grateful to be upright today. Like that's really just my whole thing.
Yeah. You have been you've been crazy.
Yeah.
It's been crazy. And then yesterday it's been yesterday you got your shot. Not we weren't able to do it yesterday.
Yeah.
Ross was under the weather and under the sheets.
Well under the sheets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I slept several hours during the day yesterday and then still ended up going to sleep at like 5 p.m. last night and sleeping until 6 a.m. this morning. Mm-hmm. I skipped an entire half a day yesterday because I could not recover from that shot.
Yeah. Well, Ross, you know what we love? You know what we love here, Ross?
What do we love?
Power rankings.
Power rankings.
And Ryan Clark revealed the most necessary power rankings of all time.
Ooh.
Top 5 NFL players I'm not fighting. Number 1.
Of course Ryan Clark did this.
Number 1, Aaron Donald.
Yes.
Number 2, AD.
Okay, very good. Yep.
Number 3, number 99 for the Rams.
All right.
Number 4, dude that lifted Devonta Freeman off of his feet as Freeman swung at him for 5 yards.
Yep, that is a thing.
Number 5, dude that trains with knives.
Yeah. And
yep, all the same person.
all those are the same person, and all of them are absolutely right. All of them are absolutely right. Although I might put dude that trains with knives second. just for the simple fact that it includes knives.
Listen, nothing's better than a good old knife fight. Just visually pleasing, but I would
also
never want to be
fun
part
to
of one.
Participate in. You know,
I've never participated in one, and I've never been in a knife fight. Don't plan on being in a knife fight, especially not with Aaron Donald.
A knife fight.
Let me tell you right now.
Give
me 5 chances. I cannot score on Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald is not the Trae Young of your basketball fantasies.
No, I could not get past Aaron Donald on 5. Give me 5 tries.
No, not at all. Not a single shot.
Give me 100 tries. No chance I'm getting.
You wouldn't even
no chance I'm trying. I'm not getting on the same
off.
field as Aaron Donald, bro.
Dylan's gonna be that person where he's like,
my shot I would waste my shot throwing it at Aaron Donald's face, trying to slow him down,
trying to run away,
from him.
The Los Angeles Rams call Dylan and say, "Hey, you've got credentials to come and cover the Los Angeles Rams."
Let's do this. Let's do this, Ross. Let's do this, Ross. You are the Los Angeles Rams. I am Dylan Sanders.
All right, cool. I'm calling you up right now. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
Ring, ring, ring. Hey, Dylan Sanders.
Yep.
At Dilly Sanders on Twitter.
Yes, yeah, that's
co-host of Dylan and Ross Save Sports over at Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network.
Are you just reading my Twitter bio?
No, I'm just talking to you.
Okay.
But I just happen to have perfectly memorized everything that you've done, including being a contributor as well as social media, as a social media director for SB Nation's Canal Street Chronicles.
Yeah, that's me. That's the same person.
Great. Just want to make sure I got the right person here. This might come as a shock to you, but for some reason, we're going to be offering you credentials to the next Los Angeles Rams game, which will be.
Wait 1 second. Have you released those injury reports for this week yet?
Yes, we have.
Is Aaron Donald active?
Aaron Donald is active. Yes, great question. He is active. So you would be covering Aaron Donald in one of his games over at SoFi. Hello. Hello, Dylan. I think he's gone. He's left. I don't think he wants to do it.
I'm good on that one, Chief.
Not doing it at all. Wow.
Let me tell you right now, if I'm that ref making that call and Aaron Donald standing right next to me, you know what? Wasn't pass interference, my dude.
Illegal hands to what face? I don't know what face you're talking about.
Don't know what happened. Don't know what happened, man.
Oh man. So for folks that don't know what happened, Dylan, why don't you tell them what happened with Aaron Donald?
Late last night,
Allegedly.
Aaron Donald gave some dude in Pittsburgh a shiner at a bar.
Some altercation between Aaron Donald and somebody at a bar in Pittsburgh has been reported, and a photo was released of the guy who received the punch. It did not look great.
No.
Imagine what you think being punched by Aaron Donald looks like, and it's probably that. It's probably that. Yeah, not great.
Yeah. Probably deserved it. If you know.
I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to sort of see how it all plays out, because this could potentially mean assault charges for Aaron Donald as well. In the midst of all this, which could mean an early season suspension or something for him, or at worst, right? I'm saying like this is all alleged, and it could go one way or another in any case, right? But as more information comes out about it, it obviously gives us greater context as to what a potential punishment could be there for Aaron Donald, or they find out that it either wasn't Aaron Donald or that guy did something heinous and Aaron Donald was like fighting him off of someone else or something wild like that. And then, as we get more information on it, it'll all become clearer, but a wild situation altogether.
Yes.
Have you ever punched anyone in the eye?
No.
I've never punched anyone in the eye.
No, I choked a kid in middle school once. Didn't punch him though. Listen, okay, Ross. I was
square in the nose before, but not in the eye.
I was in 3rd grade. He was in 5th grade. He started trash talking my mama.
Oh, see, that's what I mean.
We're not having any of that.
That's what I mean. Like, if we find out that Aaron Donald punched this guy because he was talking trash about Aaron Donald's mama, then all of a sudden this all goes away.
Yeah, no. That's the only time.
You don't disrespect people's mothers.
Literally the only time I've ever been in an altercation was that. I was in 3rd grade. He was a 5th grader. He started talking about my mama. The only time I've ever been in an altercation.
And you choked him out.
I literally, bro, it was a whole scene. It was a small school. Everybody was at lunch at the same time. I choked him against the lunch line, Ross. I remember this vividly. I said,
like
you know what I said?
Lunch line at school?
Yes. Like a buffet, there was the line of food. He was up against it. And I said, don't talk about my mama. And you know what? They never did again.
They never talked about your mama ever again. I'm sure of it.
Never.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, so we'll see exactly what all comes from this for Aaron Donald, but still, what a wild story. You got a comment here from Al about your.
Yeah. Al broke a kid's arm in 3rd grade.
There you go. Yeah. It happens. It happens, man. Sometimes
3rd grade's a wild time.
3rd grade's the worst. Actually, I had a teacher named Miss Rodriguez in 3rd grade, and she had like screaming red hair and would show up dressed as Miss Frizzle.
Amazing.
I'm pretty sure the kid that I punched square in the nose was also in 3rd grade, now that I think about it.
What grade were you in?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I was graduating.
Pretty sure that was in the 3rd grade.
Ross, this was a week ago.
Yeah, it was in a 3rd grade class. That's all I'm saying.
Oh man. Man. Speaking of trash talk, Ross, and all that stuff, one of my favorite quotes of all time from Ben Simmons. It's Ben Simmons on his defensive player of the year race with Rudy Gobert. Which one would you go with? Who do you think deserves defensive player of the year out of those two? Who do you give the edge to?
Ooh, Rudy Gobert or
Ben Simmons?
I still lean Rudy Gobert.
Ben Simmons says, I scored 42 on him and I can't score.
Never mind.
Okay, he said, I scored 42 on him and I'm not a scorer.
All right, never mind. It's Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons not only showed that Rudy Gobert can't guard, he also shut himself down at the same time. Like that's defensive player of the year mentality right there. I will shut down anybody and everybody, including myself.
I'm so good on defense, I can't perform on offense. You know what I'm
saying? That's incredible. I love so much that he said that. Oh
man.
Top pick in the NBA draft saying, I'm not a scorer. I love it so much.
Andre Drummond. Braun came up to me one day and said, Yo, is your nickname Big Penguin? I said, man, I don't know where that came from. All I know is someone must have found out that penguins are one of my favorite animals. We got some great quotes coming out of the NBA in the past 2 days.
That's amazing. I am also fond of penguins.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite animal?
The white tiger has always been one of my favorites.
Classic.
Always been one of my favorites.
It's a good one.
Oh man. Oh, Ross. Have you seen Anthony Edwards talking about Alex Rodriguez?
Mm.
So do you know that Alex Rodriguez is set to be the new owner of the Minnesota Timberwolves?
Yes, of course.
Okay, first off, we need to.
I think I already know where this is going.
First off, we need to talk about we need to take a look back first, Ross, at this clip of Anthony Edwards talking about his baseball skills.
I used to play baseball when I was young. Yeah, it'd be hot.
Really? How good a baseball player were you?
I could have went to the MLB.
MLB?
Yeah.
I am not surprised.
I'm serious though.
No, I love your confidence. What positions did you play?
I played pitcher, shortstop, third base, and center field.
Those are the prime positions.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, you were the best player on your team.
Now we talking.
You could hit the ball.
But I was 4th, 5th hitter. You know what that means.
Clean up. Yeah.
Straight clean up on aisle 3. I used to play baseball now.
What? Yo, hey, this dude is quickly becoming one of my favorites.
Dude, he's one of the funniest people of all time.
That's incredible.
Great
cleanup.
Great cleanup
on aisle 2.
So now let's get to him getting asked about his team now being acquired by Aaron Rodriguez, Alex Rodriguez.
An A-Rod fan at all growing up or anything like that? What do you think about what he might bring to the team?
A fan? What you mean? Like, who is he?
The baseball player, Alex Rodriguez?
Yikes.
Yeah, no, I don't know what it is.
Okay.
I know he's gonna be the owner, but I don't know nothing about baseball.
Wait a minute. Wait a second. Something's not right here. Something's not right. So now it's completely possible that he was very good at playing baseball, but never watched baseball. That's not out of the ordinary, particularly in like black households and like black baseball players. That's not out of the ordinary at all. The entire 27 minutes that I played baseball at Pard, I did not watch baseball. I just want to declare for everyone. But I guess it's not entirely out of the ordinary. But he said he played shortstop.
Mm-hmm.
So wouldn't he look at Alex Rodriguez? Like, certainly, here's where I thought this was going. Because remember that Anthony Edwards also mentioned that he wanted to be a rapper. He wanted to do work in music. And that basketball was just kind of the other thing, almost, is the way that he had mentioned it. But so I thought this was going to go a J-Lo direction. This I did not expect.
Yeah.
This was quite the twist.
What a twist. But yeah, no, Anthony Edwards has had so many great moments,
man,
throughout already in his young career. There was another one. I'm trying to think of the other quote that got me. Every time he gets to the mic, it's something great.
It's like it's like must see TV when he does his interviews, man.
Uh-huh.
It's so good.
Let's see.
He's remarkably funny.
Yeah, and that's what sports like need. Like funny athletes like Kike Hernandez. Funny athletes are always the best. They always like get you to tune in.
Kike Hernandez is such a good example, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So a couple quotes from Anthony Edwards. One of my favorites is the fact that he got dogs during the quarantine because he couldn't fit lions in his house.
Oh, jeez. Oh man, of course.
Oh man. Listen. Everything he says, it's gold.
That's so good.
Who's the funniest athlete to you? Who do you think the funniest athlete is?
Oh man.
What comes to your mind?
Marshawn Lynch goes on that Mount Rushmore for certain.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about Anthony Edwards. Maybe who else is really funny? Cam Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Cam Jordan's a really good one.
Cam Jordan's really funny.
Who else?
Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he was the first one I mentioned.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
He's on that Mount Rushmore for certain. Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's a pretty good one. He mostly like is making fun of people though. Like his responses when people ask him a dumb question or a question he thinks is dumb is usually pretty priceless. Shaq is an all-time.
Shaq is all-time.
Yeah, when it comes to interviews. Muhammad Ali was all-time when it came to interviews.
Pop
is great.
Pop is like Russell Westbrook though. Like his funniest stuff comes from the exact Anthony Edwards quote. I always loved dogs. I loved like dogs and lions, but I knew I couldn't get lions because I ain't got the house for it.
I ain't got the house for that. That's such a specific need. I can't wait to go house. I can't wait till like I finally have enough money to go and buy a house because I'm gonna be like, could I keep lions here? Just need to know. I don't plan to, but I just need to know. Do I have the house for that? Oh man. Who else? Funniest interviewers. The thing that I like about Pops too, though, is that Pop like is the same reason for Russell Westbrook, like you mentioned, but he's also like mad quotable. Like he also comes through with some really good quotes as well.
I didn't get the audio. I gotta remember, Ross. I gotta remember to share the audio.
Happens all the time.
And I thought I heard you on TV a little bit. You were talking about you and Kat having a conversation after the Lakers game, just about what you take away from that and maybe what Bron was doing to lead. Can you just bring us into that a little bit and how you trying to use that going forward for the team that you guys have?
I probably use Wancho as an example. Wancho shoot the piss off the ball, shoot the hell out the ball. So I tell Wancho, if you catch the ball open, you don't shoot it, you're losing money. You know what I'm saying? Like that easy, that simple. So tonight, you know what I'm saying? He hit 2 big threes for it, and I tell him like that's what you get paid to do, man. Like, that's what you got to do.
So good.
He can shoot the piss off the ball.
I love it. Who are some others that you really like in interviews? I'm trying to think about players in particular.
I know one of my favorite interviews of all time is the one about rebounding by Jay Crowder from March Madness a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really good one.
Yeah. It's been good. Let's see. I'm trying to think of who all the best.
There's part of me that wants to put like LeBron on there, but I don't know about funniest. Like he's not always funny. You know what I mean? Like Chris Bosh was pretty funny in his.
Mm-hmm.
JaVale McGee tends to be pretty funny in his, or at least was. But yeah, I mean Marshawn Lynch, Shaq, Pop was pretty good. I think those guys are like at the and Cam Jordan are like at the top for me in terms of like funniest interviewers.
Mm-hmm.
I think those would be the ones.
Yeah.
But
I have one more Anthony Edwards for us, and then we can go to break.
let's do it.
I have to get to the. Yeah. This is about them getting ready each game.
Okay.
And getting motivated.
And it starts with us. But we got to do a better job of getting each other ready. You know what I'm saying? Like in warm-ups, I feel like we'd be bullshitting. We come out missing layups, not going full speed layup lines. I mean, I know we in the league, but you got to treat it the same way. The same way you got warm in rec league, AAU ball, you got to get warm out here.
So no more bullshitting?
Yeah, no more bullshitting layup line. I'm a rookie, but I feel like what I say should hold a little weight. You know what I'm saying?
I love it. No more of that. I do love that he's like, I mean, we've now heard 2 interviews here, him as a rookie coming in and talking about like encouraging people to shoot the ball and telling people that that's what they get paid for. And then having that kind of leadership. Like I honestly do love hearing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because I think that there's an expectation for rookies oftentimes to come in and then have, just be, disrespected or whatever, or like hazed or, brought in whatever way and stuff like that. But it's pretty cool to hear him just kind of be like a part of the rhythm already in terms of leadership. And I guess that speaks to his confidence too. Maybe it's his baseball experience since he played pitcher, third base, shortstop, center field.
Straight cleanup.
Great cleanup. You know what I'm saying? I love it. All right, y'all. We're gonna jump to our break here. As we come back, I have a quick mock draft for us to look at. We'll talk about some other NFL news as well. Jadeveon Clowney landing with another team and getting paid yet again. We'll talk about that and much more as we circle back around here for our second half hour on Dylan and Rossi Sports Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. All right.
All that and a little bit of lanyard.
I found a great mock draft. Actually, I didn't find it. It was emailed to me, but it was Sports Betting Dime took a bunch of props, including like over under for expected draft position and whether or not a team will go offense or defense in their first round with their first selection. Top 5, top 10 player averages, odds and things like that. Took all of these odds and then put them together to create a first round mock draft and stuff. And so I have that draft that I thought would be really cool to go over because it's really good work.
I have my hat pulled over my head, but I can still see it.
You do.
I can still see it.
You okay? You all right there, buddy? Need anything?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
I am Scoochie.
I have a mock draft coming out tonight, Moss.
Yeah, buddy. Another Saints 7-rounder.
It's an NFL 7-rounder, Ron.
Ooh, that one.
Yeah,
that's right. You did the whole draft.
Yep.
Man, you're incredible, dude.
I've just been working on those graphics that I sent you. I did one for all 32 first rounders, and then I've been making graphics for the rest.
Wow.
So it was a lot of work, but it's coming out tonight. Hopefully it'll be behind me. I'm ready to get it over with.
Yeah. That's awesome. Great job, dude. Are you publishing it anywhere too? Like, is it going to be on Whole 9 or
Twitter?
Just Twitter.
Just the tweeter.
Just a tweeter. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Love me some tweeter.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
So are we officially a pro Anthony Edwards podcast?
I think so. I think we are pro Anthony Edwards.
I mean, I'm all about it.
We are pro Anthony Edwards. We are pro Robert Pattinson. We are pro Justin Fields.
Very pro Justin.
who had a second pro day today.
I
believe went well. Kyle Shanahan was there, so everybody can stop talking about how Kyle Shanahan wasn't at the last one.
I will be shocked if the 49ers pick Mac Jones.
Shocked. Listen to me. Shocked. Hear all those consonants. Shocked.
Shocked.
It would blow my freaking mind if that actually happened. It'd be absolutely nuts.
I wonder if you'll like the first round selection for the Saints in this draft coming out tonight, Ross.
Say again.
I wonder if you'll like this pick for the Saints in this upcoming mock draft.
Oh, sure I will. All right, here we go. Coming back. All right, everybody, we are back. Second half hour here, bottom half hour, and Dylan and Ross Save Sports, Full Press coverage, Full Press Radio Network. We're going to get to another mock draft here in a little bit. We're going to talk about a little bit of the NFL news going on around, a couple of free agents signing over the last couple of days. First, we had running back James Conner signing with the Arizona Cardinals. So he goes from the AFC Pittsburgh Steelers to the West Coast, signing with the NFC Arizona Cardinals there. And the Cardinals finally get their sort of maybe multi-purpose back, I guess you can say, in their system. How are you feeling about James Conner heading over to Arizona?
Arizona needs running back, so
be true.
I mean, is he much worse than David Johnson?
I think he's I don't know. They both have injury concerns, don't they? Oh, I don't know. I kind of feel like Arizona is better off with James Conner.
I feel like James Conner and David Johnson together would be a good. You got David Johnson with the pass catching, James Conner with the power back. It's a good duo, but I still think they go running back early in the draft.
Yeah, I could still see them doing that. Now they also have Benjamin on their roster. He needs to. He was a rookie last year, so he hopefully got a pass for his rookie season and everything. With everybody's rookie season in 2020 being what it was. As of right now, their top running back behind James Conner or along with James Conner, because I imagine they would go to a split back type situation or a committee back type situation, would be Chase Edmonds, who. He's done all right. He's not, the best back out there or anything, but in 2020, he had 97 carries, 448 yards, and a touchdown. Not a lot of production through the air, but still saw 53 receptions, in 2020. So, actually, yeah, he actually had a lot of his production through the air. 53 receptions, 402 yards, and four touchdowns. There. So he actually almost outperformed himself. I would even dare say he did outperform himself through the air than on the ground. So if James Conner ends up being your bell cow back, which health-wise I think has some concerns, but if that ended up being the case, then you have Chase Edmonds who can continue to be that multi-purpose back, then the two could complement each other pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then they could still go running back pretty early, second, third round in the draft.
I like it.
Yeah, first round, I feel like they still go maybe corner first round, probably.
Corner or offensive line.
Yeah, sure.
But, knowing the Arizona Cardinals have shown that they're in no rush to take offensive line or improve their offensive line at all for some reason.
It seems that like all these teams that have mobile quarterbacks just kind of don't really invest in offensive line because they're like, oh, our quarterback can just get out of trouble, which is kind of unfair, right? But
now imagine their quarterback able to move around the pocket freely.
Right. Yeah. Imagine that. Like it should be a fact of that that like the mobile quarterback is a good asset to have in addition to them being a passer that's kept clean, as opposed to that being like the number one thing on the list is that they can like get themselves out of trouble. Just because they can get themselves out of trouble doesn't mean you have to increase the likelihood of them getting in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It's all very strange. The other signing that took place was Jadeveon Clowney. Jadeveon Clowney finds another home, another 1-year deal, this time with the Cleveland Browns, again, worth up to $10 million. Jadeveon Clowney just keeps getting paid. He just keeps getting paid. And I love it. We felt like Cleveland, I think a lot of people felt like Cleveland was going to be where he ended up. This come as a surprise to you at all to see him sign with Cleveland?
No, it's been talked about enough for the past couple weeks that, it makes sense. I will say, I still think they go edge early in this draft, and I think they should. Yeah,
I think so. I think that's a good point. And you do that to protect yourself because Jadeveon Clowney essentially lost an entire season last year. I mean, and it's happened to him before, right? Like the injuries that he's had and all those things. Like we've seen it sort of we've seen teams struggle at pass rusher because of investing solely in Jadeveon Clowney and not a backup by any means, right? Or another option by any means. So I think that having him working on that type of system or whatever, like that would make sense.
Is Jadeveon Clowney the scariest college football player of all time?
Sort of. I mean, the thing for me about Jadeveon Clowney is that it was kind of just one play that really made him a household name in college, right?
Have you ever seen his high school tape?
I love the high school tape because he is like 80 feet taller than everyone else around him. Like he's the same size. Right. But the players around him are all the size of every NFL player's children. Like, it's incredible.
Him or Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's high school tape is amazing. Yeah. I mean, Derrick Henry's college tape is amazing.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, but I feel like Jadeveon Clowney in college was like mostly quiet, and then he had like the one big, I believe it was a bowl game that he had that play to where he like took somebody's helmet off, and then all of a sudden his like stock blew up, right? Like he hit more eyes.
Yeah. Now let me throw this at you for most intimidating players of all time.
Yeah.
And it might be a shocker because of the size.
Right.
But Tyrann Mathieu is one of the most intimidating players to go up against of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. I would also add Aaron Donald to that list, but
the guy that trades with knives.
The guy that trades with knives. But yeah, Tyrann Mathieu. I mean, he picked up the nickname Honey Badger at that time when the Honey Badger meme was a thing, and like that was a huge sort of compliment to his play style. And the thing about Tyrann Mathieu that was so incredible was that he could do anything. Like you could put him anywhere and he did it. You know what I mean? It was an incredible thing to watch.
My favorite, one of the stories I heard the other day was about there's a guy coming in, and it was the spring game of Tyrann's freshman year, and some guy was like, "Who's number 14 out there? That dude is the smallest dude out on the field." And Coach John Chavis at the time said, "Oh, that's our best player on the team."
I love that.
The spring training of his freshman year. He was like, "Oh, that guy? Oh, he's the best player on this field."
That's amazing. And that's probably on the field with players like, was Patrick Peterson? Patrick Peterson was probably still on the team at that point.
He was, yeah.
Odell, Jarvis Landry, like he's overlapping with some incredible NFL talent now in terms of the players that we talk about the most from that program. And then, of course, Tyrann Mathieu being a huge part of that. And already you can kind of identify, him? No, that's the guy.
Does Tyrann Mathieu need to have his jersey in the Rafters at LSU?
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, I know that his tenure at LSU didn't end positively, but it's not like it ended. It's not like it ended the same way that like Darius Geis ended. Right? Like it ended on some dumb stuff like drug charges or whatever and everything. And so like for me,
and he's still beloved there. All right.
Yeah. And he consistently goes back. He gives back. Like he's always a part of all of it. Like it's just,
they're accepting his money. So I mean,
right. Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
All right. So I'm going to go through this 2010 LSU football team.
All right.
And talk about some the LSU the NFL players. Eric Reed,
Woof.
Ruben Randall.
Mm-hmm.
Remember Craig Lawson?
Yes.
Shout out Craig Lawson. Patrick Peterson.
Mm-hmm.
Ego Ferguson. Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Jefferson.
Yes.
Russell Shepard, who's still in the NFL.
Still in the NFL.
Kelvin Shepard, shout out. I'm just going through the guys I remember. Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Tyron Matthews there.
Right.
Spencer Ware.
Morris
Claiborne. Remember how good Morris Claiborne was?
Yeah,
remember
man.
how good Morris Claiborne was supposed to be. Let's see. Alfred Blue. Shout out Alfred Blue.
Yep. Houston Texans legend, Alfred Blue.
Yeah. Brad Wing. Shout out Brad Wing.
Oh wow.
Let's see. Kevin Minter.
Brad Wing feels like he was on that team for like 12 years.
Yeah. 6th overall pick, Barkevius Mingo.
Right.
T-Bob Bear.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
The T-Bob Bear.
The T-Bob Bear. Will Blackwell, which is another great Twitter follow.
Yeah.
By the way, Will Blackwell. Let's see. Getting down here. Michael Brockers.
Right. Yep.
Benny
Michael
Logan.
Brockers, who, by the way, talked trash about his former quarterback and then immediately got traded to his former quarterback's new team.
Yes. Benny Logan.
Benny Logan, yep.
So yeah, and then I think so that was those. It was Patrick Peterson was there, but no Odell or Jarvis Landry yet.
Yeah,
they were the next year.
Got it. Yeah,
but Eric Reed and Patrick Peterson were there.
Yeah, and Brockers and Barkevius Mingo, who were both
and Benny Logan.
Great. Benny Logan, yeah. So that's pretty cool. Like to hear that immediately. Like his coaches were like, no.
A lot of first round NFL players on that list that just got listed.
Yeah,
NFLSU baby.
NFLSU. All right, we wanted to take a look real quick at the this mock draft that I was sent by Sports Betting Dime. This was really cool. So basically what they did was that they did a first round mock draft, and I'm just going to kind of read the different types of props that they use. Now these are the types of props that they use to create this mock draft, but these aren't the only ones that they use, right? They use more than this, but they basically took a bunch of props and then used that to sort of designate where players were expected to be drafted, what teams were there, and then also orchestrated trades based upon like if there was a team need for a certain position that was expected to go at a certain place, or a certain player that was expected to be drafted at a certain position. So they use props like odds to be top 5 or top 10, player draft position over unders, odds of the first player being taken at each position, and then offense or defense with the first round pick for each teams, etc. So they use a bunch of other stuff too, but that's kind of where they started. So Dylan, we know already essentially what's happening at picks 1 and 2, right? Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence, New York Jets, Zach Wilson. Now we believe firmly that Justin Fields is pick number 3. The odds right now still have Mac Wilson as the favorite at pick number 3 overall. Justin Fields not far behind. However, I think it's like 3-1 for Mac Jones, 5-1 for Justin Fields. This mock draft has Mac Jones going to the San Francisco 49ers at 3, but then has the Denver Broncos trading up to pick number 4 with the Atlanta Falcons to select Justin Fields.
Amazing.
Which I really, really like for 2 reasons. It moves the Atlanta Falcons out of Kyle Pitts' range.
Yes.
Which I really like. And Justin Fields ends up with a pretty damn good supporting cast in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good defense that has improved its secondary. Still has a lot of good playmakers at the edge rusher position on the defensive line. Their front 7 still very good. Justin Simmons has remained. Great passing options there as well. A good offensive line. Like there's a lot of good going on in Denver. It seems like the only thing that they really need to fix is their quarterback position. And it seems that they've been pretty comfortable and have showed a lot of votes of confidence to Drew Lock, but of course they should, right? Like there's no reason to show a lack of confidence in Drew Lock if you don't have a successor in the building.
Yeah, I think that they're, no matter what, going to be in the quarterback market.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. So that's the first trade that took place. And so that kind of combines with a couple of different things. It combines with Justin Fields having the greatest odds to be the fourth quarterback off the board, and then the Denver Broncos having that need, and that his average draft position is around 4, because oftentimes he's taken at 7 or like not necessarily 7, but 7 or 8, and then he's taken at 4. I mean, at 3 in other drafts. So that makes a lot of sense that he would fall into that range. Now, this leaves the Cincinnati Bengals with a plethora of options: Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, of course, being the two that are the biggest pieces of conversation. But in this scenario, Kyle Pitts is also on the board still as a third option. So if you're Cincinnati and you're sitting on the clock and you've got Penei Sewell, Jamar Chase, and Kyle Pitts to choose from, where do you go?
Penei Sewell.
You still go Penei Sewell?
Penei Sewell is the second best player in this class.
Yeah.
Arguably the first.
Yeah.
So I go him no matter what. I don't care what he's one of those guys. It doesn't matter what your roster looks like. It doesn't matter who your tackle is for 99.9% of the teams. Go and grab Penei Sewell.
Yeah. I tend to agree with you on that. I think Penei Sewell is the best player in this draft. The Cincinnati Bengals, though, in this simulation, go with Kyle Pitts. So they select Kyle Pitts. The Miami Dolphins take Jamar Chase. And then we have the New England Patriots trading up to 7 with the Detroit Lions to take Trey Lance. So that means that Penei Sewell falls all the way down to pick 8 to the Carolina Panthers,
who should then take him.
Yes, and they do. And they do in this mock draft. They traded for Sam Darnold. I still don't think Sam Darnold saves the franchise. I don't think Sam Darnold is their quarterback for more than, I'll say 2 years, because he has a 5th-year option, but I'm not even convinced of that. But you give him everything that he needs, right? You give him a great slew of weapons. You give him a great running back, and then you help to improve his offensive line with adding Penei Sewell with the best player in the draft. At pick number 9, which is where the Atlanta Falcons traded down to, they end up taking Patrick Surtain, which I'm like, please do. Please do. I'm very low on him as a corner and as a prospect.
He doesn't have the athleticism of the guys around him, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's been something with me. Like, he lacks a bit of fluidity, he lacks a bit of that athleticism, and he just feels like it kind of reminds me of Trevon Diggs, where you just have like the one year of production from him for the most part. But we'll see. Maybe he's able to channel his pedigree in that way. But since they traded down, they end up with Patrick Surtain. The Chargers trade up to grab Rashawn Slater. And then we kind of have the meat of the draft at this point. So then the only things to really highlight are some of the other things. So we had the Dallas Cowboys trading back from 13, presumably after they saw, or trading back from 10, presumably after they saw Patrick Surtain go off the board. They're able to take J.C. Horn at 13. Detroit, after trading back to 15 with the New England Patriots, where they were able to grab Trey Lance, we have them taking Micah Parsons. Caleb Farley going to the Arizona Cardinals at 16. This was an interesting one. Trayvon Moehrig going 17 to the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't often see Trayvon Moehrig going that early in the first round.
I like it, though. He's talented enough to.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's really like his draft stock is severely affected by the position he plays and by positional value. I think that ends up being a big part of it. But that's really great to see him go there. Kwity Paye to Miami Dolphins. Then this is one that I think we're both going to like a little bit. At pick number 19 is Dylan Radins of North Dakota State. We like it. The team that he goes to, of course, at 19 is the Washington football team, where I'm lukewarm on how I feel about him going to the Washington football team.
He Man, if that happens, you're slowly going to have to become a Washington football team fan.
There's so much good going on in terms of their team, like in terms of the players that they have in the building. Like there's so much good going on with that team that I'm very excited about. It's just that they're also now 100% owned by Dan Snyder, and I hate that so much.
Yeah. I wonder what their team's going to be named. I wonder what they're going to do.
I'm convinced they're never changing it and that it's staying with Washington football team until they get a new owner.
It's growing on me.
I like it. I'm fine with it. Like, I don't see any problem with it at all. Like, it's just like a soccer team name, right?
Yeah.
Los Angeles Football Club.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
Better than being racist. That's all I
Better
can say.
than being racist. I'd rather
Is that
not.
the motto of our show?
Yeah, right, exactly.
Sports.
Better than being racist. Oh, I think that's pretty much, that sums us up pretty quickly. And we have another offensive lineman go. Then we have essentially a run on offensive linemen. At 19, Dylan Radens. At 20 to the Chicago Bears, Tevin Jenkins. At 21 to the Indianapolis Colts, Liam Eichenberg.
Sam Cosmi's still there.
Sam Cosmi, interestingly enough, does not get drafted in the first round. Does not get selected in this first round mock.
I like him as a first rounder a lot more than Liam Eichenberg.
I would agree with that. The Tennessee Titans grab Greg Newsome, which feels like a fantastic fit. That feels like
who is that?
The Tennessee Titans go with Greg Newsome.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's basically just Adoree Jackson too.
Right, exactly. The Jets grab a pass rusher and Jalen Phillips, and then we get another offensive lineman going off the board with Elijah Vera Tucker to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which is a pretty good selection. And then we get to the Baltimore Ravens and the New Orleans Saints, both teams that have some needs at defense. The Ravens could go with linebacker. The Saints, of course, need a bunch of defense. They need the selection at every level could help them for certain. But instead, both of these teams go with offense. The Baltimore Ravens go with Rashad Bateman, which I really like. I like that a lot in terms of giving Lamar Jackson an opportunity. And then the fifth wide receiver off the board after Jamar Chase and I believe it was Jamar Chase and then Jalen Waddle. No, Jamar Chase went number 6 overall to Miami, and then Devonta Smith went to New York at 11, and then Jalen Waddle to 12, or to the Eagles at 12, which makes a lot of sense because all they want is speed. So that leaves on the board available for the Saints the fifth wide receiver off the board, Terrace Marshall Jr. out of LSU, to pair up with Michael Thomas and with an evolving group of younger wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that this was pretty interesting. And the reason why they go with Terrace Marshall to the Saints here is because the Saints are odds on, they're not the odds on favorite to land a wide receiver, but or to go offense. But how am I trying to say this? They are more favored to go. The odds are greater that they will go offense in the first round than defense in the first round, which should be no surprise to anybody, right? Like, it's the New Orleans Saints, it's Sean Payton. And Terrace Marshall also has the highest odds to be the fifth wide receiver off the board over guys like Kadarius Toney and Rondale Moore and Elijah Moore. Actually, Terrace Marshall ends up having the best odds to be the fifth wide receiver off the board. So how would you feel about Terrace Marshall in New Orleans?
I'm obviously a big fan. I think he's followed.
I ask you that while you're wearing an LSU hat, of course.
Yeah. I am a fan of it. I feel like he's getting an even worse treatment than Justin Jefferson did, in that he had to go play with Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, but he also still produced heavily. He was producing on the same level of them. People forget that it was those three in a race to see who could get more touchdown catches,
right?
Until he got hurt.
Yeah, and for a little while he was ahead until
he was winning for a while, and then came back this year, and until he opted out, smartly so,
right?
He was dominating, like literally. It seemed like every other catch was a touchdown.
Insanely good. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, no, I would love to see him, and I think that there is some, how much of a difference do you have in Terrace Marshall and Michael Thomas? I think that's, part of the conversation, everything like that. But, Terrace Marshall at 6'3", 201 pounds, you're also going to need somebody after Michael Thomas over time as well. So I don't see anything wrong with that being a selection in terms of somebody to pair with him for now, but then also to potentially become the next Michael Thomas over time, or at least step into the X receiver position. Let me say it that way more appropriately. The Green Bay Packers go Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and then to wrap everything up, Buffalo Bills going Azeez Ojulari. The Atlanta Falcons, you're going to love this, trade back into the first round to select Najee Harris, a running back.
What was that? So you broke up a little bit.
Oh, sorry. The Atlanta Falcons trade back into the first round to select Najee Harris, a running back.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go Joe Tryon, the edge rusher out of Washington.
I like that, Ross.
Me too. I thought this was pretty cool. I love the sort of formula and everything that they built to do this. I thought that was a really, really cool way to do it. I thought that was awesome.
Ross, I figured we could close out the show with something I think you're going to like a lot.
Let's do it.
We've heard a lot about Anthony Edwards talking about his teammates. Here is one of his teammates talking about Anthony Edwards. And this is specifically about Anthony Edwards recently had a fourth quarter where he went on a run.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked Ricky Rubio about it because Ricky Rubio was on the sideline. Like they said he was beaming. Like he was very, very happy during it.
There's certain people who are a joy to be around, and they deserve to have that moment. And for a number one pick, come to a team and coming off the bench, didn't say a word. He kept working, starring, didn't get many shots because other guys were like demanding the ball. Didn't say a word. He kept working. He didn't put any excuses on anybody. And now his time is up, and he showed up big. And when that happened, you just have to be happy for the way he has been patient. I think we don't realize how frustrating it is sometimes when you're better than what you're doing, and keep your spirit up. And it's either you have it or not, and you just can't go to the locker room and bitch around and talk. It's not my fault. He never say a word of when we were losing. Pinpoint that it's easy to do, especially in the young guys with the hype that he had. Number one pick, I deserve better. I deserve to have a better situation, whatever it is. He didn't say a word about that. He kept working, coming to every practice with a smile in his face, being kind of like cocky, but in a good way. I don't want to get it in the wrong way. My English is not that good to find another words, but kind of you happy for him to have that type of game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
And then, of course, if you want something to relate, to be able to, if you want to feel related to Anthony Edwards, we have this.
You have Popeyes, Ant?
Yeah, man. I had to get Popeyes after the game.
Where do Popeyes fries rank?
Fries, they top four. They top
Okay.
four. They top four.
Awesome. Thanks, Ann. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate that.
I love it. Top four. I love it.
I need Anthony Edwards fast food French fry tier list.
Yes, for real. Can we get Anthony Edwards on to do a tier list with us in the off season? Find out next time. I absolutely love it. All right, man. I think that's going to do it for today. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time, to continue to keep you up to date with everything going on around sports. Dylan, anything else you want to say before we close it out?
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Once again, for Dylan Sanders, at Dilly Sanders on Twitter, I'm Ross Jackson, at Ross Jackson Nola on Twitter. Make sure you follow Full Press Radio, at Full Press Radio. We'll be back with you tomorrow.